right. Okay. Let me share my screen. Sorry, it's been a while since I used this. Okay. Can everybody see that? Give me some thumbs up. Perfect. All right. Okay. So a lot of you know me, but I'll go ahead and just get that out of the way. I'm Doug Dickey. I've been with the Mets for be my 15th year up in April, or coming April. I've been doing Mets fantasy camp for the last 10 years. And a lot of you guys know it started out as just 1 week. I got it expanded to 2 weeks, and then now I'm doing these mini camps as well, and working on some stuff for the future for more mini camps across the country. So looking forward to all that. Most importantly, looking forward to this coming November. We have the Syracuse Summer Classic coming up in the end of this month. So I know a lot of you are attending that as well. So I'll see you at the end of the month. Yeah, so thanks for getting on. I am recording this so I can post it on Facebook and YouTube, or those pages. That way, for all those who are unable to join us tonight, they can take a look. I know we got a couple alumni on here. Doug, who is our commissioner, Doug Flynn, he's on here. I saw Mackie, I saw Ed, Mookie. Real quick, I'll let Flynn start off first to say a few words. If Flynn, you could jump on. Doug's been our commissioner since I want to say 2019, 2020. Doug's, as all of you all know, Doug's awesome. I couldn't do it without him. So thank you, Doug, for everything. But go ahead, Doug, if you would like to say anything to these guys. I did see a few rookies on here. So yeah, some words of wisdom from Doug Flynn. I can find you, Doug. Do I have to unmute you, Doug? Hold on, technical difficulties.
All right.
There you are.
You got me?
Yep, you're good.
All right. Welcome, everybody. How come I can't see anybody? It's probably best because that might have been the ugliest bunch of guys I've ever seen in my life. So please don't put any pictures up there. Put what you've got up there right now. That's good. Just want to welcome everybody. This, as you know, this is the 2 best weeks in the world. And it's become, for you rookies, it's become a family for all of us, even though you all talk kind of funny. You still you're part of my family. And like David's, like Turtle said earlier, I appreciate all the phone calls. Right before camp, I lost my dad. Then right after camp, I lost my mom last year. So it's been kind of a goofy year, but the thing that stays the same is baseball. They don't care if you're sick or if you're hurt or if you go, they're going to keep playing and they're going to try to keep doing it right. And my hat's off to Doug Dickey for all of these years of trying to do what's best to make this the best camp out there. And if you all haven't spent enough time talking to him, go ahead and just introduce yourself as soon as you can, meet him, because if you've got any needs, he takes care of it immediately. And, I would say that in having 2 weeks of over 140 guys come down to fantasy camp, the way that Doug has been able to put this together to make it run as smooth as possible. And even when we had bad weather, we got rain out, we had to move guys last year, which was really inconvenient. But what made it work is the fact that all of you guys just came down to play ball. And you said, we don't care when we play or where we play, we'll go and play. And I think that's what made it such a successful camp. So I want to welcome you to all of my former teammates and alumni. Thank you for continuing to come down here and giving back so much. One of the questions we all get is, why don't we get any of the really big names down? Well, they don't get much bigger than Mookie. So, yeah, I know you'd like to have some of the other guys, but let me just tell you this, and I've said it 100 times. The pros that you got that come there want to be there. They want to be with you guys. They want to tell stories, and they want to be friends. And my hat goes off to them for doing it. I keep saying I don't know how many more years they'll be able to do these camps because the younger guys just don't seem to want to do it. That's okay. We'll all do it till we're coming in there like Piggy did. Will you roll us in and wind us up, and we'll start telling you some stories. So hey, thanks, guys, for you guys coming every year. And I look forward to meeting the ones that I haven't met, and, of course, staying in touch with all the guys that I can now call friends.
Thank you, Dougie. Mookie, Mackie, Ed, any other alumni that want to say a few words before we dive into everything?
Yeah, I'll say a few words. I don't know what I've done. Somehow I muted my picture off here. I don't know what I've done, but I'm up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, moved my door in the University of Alabama. So I muted it for a second so all these girls could walk through and look at our apartment. But it's a great time. You'll enjoy yourself. It's fun. We make it fun for you guys to be able to come down and enjoy yourself and have a good time. I'm usually with a couple of coaches that I enjoy being with. And Todd Pratt is a good coach, and we enjoy coaching with each other and do what we do. But it's about going down and learning and playing games and enjoying yourself and just have a good time. And so I'm looking forward to being there. I'm looking forward to meeting new guys and doing the things we got to do and doing our draft and going through all the things we go through. Just make sure you're in shape. It's kind of hot down there for all you young guys, or not young, but you're new guys, rookies. And just make sure you're in shape and ready to play ball, because you got to play a lot of games in a few days, and hope we have the weather to be able to do that. And I'm looking forward to meeting new guys and seeing all the old guys, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mac. Ed, you want to say anything? Lynch? You're muted, Ed. There you go.
Okay, it's the only way you're going to shut me up is to mute me. So I just want to echo what Doug Flynn said. Doug Dickey does a great job. We got too many Dougs flying around anyway. But last year we had a freaking hurricane. I lived in Florida for 20 plus years, never saw one until last year. It was a November hurricane, and we didn't miss a beat. And it was congratulations to the two Dougs for getting through that. But this will be my 23rd fantasy camp. Unfortunately, the first 20 are with the Cubs, and there's absolutely no comparison between that fantasy camp and this one. This one is like going from Double-A to the big leagues, really. I mean, just in terms of the uniforms, the food, the facility, the umpires aren't brutal. It's just a first-class operation. And the number of guys, 25 coaches, I think we have. I've never had even close to that in any other camp. So it's a great time for anybody, especially you rookies. And, we'll give all the speeches we're going to have to give. But, I usually start with something like, when you get to first base, turn left. I'll try to keep it simple. You know what I mean? So it's a great experience. I've had a lot of fun. I've got a chance to interact with guys that I actually signed, played for me, Steve Traxel, Todd Pratt, those kind of guys when I was GM of the Cubs. So it's a fun time, a lot of great stories, a lot of nice people, and I can't say enough for it. And thanks again for the invitation again, two Dougs.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Eddie. Mook?
Well, first of all, welcome, guys. I should say welcome back to most of you, and welcome to guys. It's your first time. I'm not gonna, be redundant in what Dougie and Lynch has already said, because I have a great time down here with you guys. I've only been doing it for about 6 years, Dougie. I think I started about 6 years ago.
Yeah, you did 1 year and then a little hiatus, and then you came back.
Yeah, that's because you made me, you kind of got me upset to give my ring when I won. But that's another story for another day. We won't talk about
left
that.
early.
But anyway. But
still
no,
love you,
man,
Luke.
guys, it's so much fun. I really enjoy it, man. Give me an opportunity to talk about everything that I've done and things that I thought I did and didn't do. In other words, how the fish keep getting bigger, my stories keep getting bigger. So we're gonna keep having fun, guys. Come down in shape, be ready to play. Don't try to impress us the first day. You veterans know that first day don't mean nothing. It's all about who's on the field that last day of the week, man. And hopefully we can win a ring and Dougie give it to us this time.
Thanks, Luke. I think that's everybody. If I missed any of the alumni, there's some phone numbers and stuff. I don't know if that's any alumni or not, but speak now or forever hold your peace there. All right. If not, let us begin this thing. All right. So everyone I really hope knows now that week 1 is November 5th through 11th. I still get a couple emails every now and then like, Doug, which week am I in? So week 1, November 5th, my birthday, to the 11th. Week 2 is immediately after, which is the 12th to the 18th. Now, as some of you know from last year, we kind of had a new schedule. I did not like it. I was not very privy of it, but I had to do it anyways. Luckily, I was able to talk to the powers that be to change it back to what it used to be. So we have that extra day there, so we will not be ending on a half-day Friday. We will have the camp officially in like it should with the dinner Friday night. Just going over the agenda. I'm kind of rambling on there a little bit early, but anyways, we'll go over the basic info, rookie info, schedule overview. I'll go over some things that are new. And then I know I had a lot of questions on what to bring and whatnot, so we'll go over that as well. We'll hit up the alumni. I'll reveal the 2 weeks, the coach list for each week, which is always subject to change, guys. So please remember that schedules change, things happen. So guys, these guys are busy. And things do happen, and I'll have backups just in case someone backs out. We'll go over the map of the complex, and then we'll go over some questions. I did get a lot of questions this afternoon, so that's great. Thanks for sending those. I will go over there. A lot of good questions. So let's continue. All right. So for this year, just like last year, we're doing 8 games. Weather permitting, obviously. Just like the guys said, Dougie and them. We had a hurricane last year. It was the first time in 40 years, I believe, that a hurricane hit that late in November, or that early in November, or that late in the hurricane season. So hopefully that was just a freak thing. But other than that, it rains. It's Florida. It'll rain for 20 minutes, downpour, look like the world is ending, and then it'll be completely dry after. So the main field was redone, which is why we didn't get to use it last year. It drains very well, and it's a very nice field. Whoever, the guys who were here at the St. Lucie Classic down here in April, they can attest to that. The field is tenfold more than what it used to be. The hotel, it's not changed. However, the staff changed. The lady that I worked with for the last 10 years left and actually went up to New Jersey. So I'm dealing with someone new. So I don't want to say expect hiccups, but just be mindful if things do kind of hiccup. It's a new person dealing with something, that Francesca and I worked together for 10 years. It was like smooth sailing. So I just want to give you a heads up that things may occur, but obviously I'll do everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen, but I cannot say, I can't speak for the hotel. This is a wood bat tournament, only wood bat, no metal. Same thing with cleats, no metal cleats, only rubber cleats. And batting gloves, obviously bring your own if you want that. Those are some common questions. One thing we did start 2 years ago, I believe, was composite bats. You guys are allowed to bring composite bats to camp, as long as it's wood composite, no metal still. Camp veterans. So I sent out to both weeks of camp. You guys got the email. The deadline was August 1st, so don't even ask me for uniforms after this point because they'll say no. I sent out an email with all the uniforms that I ordered. You were told to see if your name was on that list, and if it wasn't, to reach out to me if you needed a uniform. That time has passed, guys. Sorry. So you better bring your old uniforms if you didn't order a uniform. If you have any issues with that particular topic, email me offline tomorrow or Monday, and we'll think of something. But Nike's very strict with their rules now, and we're lucky too because they sent me the email back in April saying the due date was May, and I about freaked out. And then I had a conversation with them, and then they let us do August. So a lot of weight can change, a lot of gain weight, lose weight between now that long in the that early in the year. So thankfully they were able to change that for us. But for camp veterans, so we are wearing white pinstripes and gray aways. So remember, if you had the discount or you chose to bring your own uniforms, make sure you bring your pants and your uniform tops. Laundry's done every day. Pairings, so only 2 people. I know I have to keep reiterating this every year. Only 2 people, please. I will most likely next year, I'm just throwing this out there now. Next year, I may only stick to teammates being blood relatives. And I'm still thinking on that. So nothing's confirmed, but for this year, just leave it to 2 teammates, or well, you and 1 other person. And you know, when we go in the draft, all the coaches, they see all the pairings, they have a list of the pairings, they'll know who goes together and who doesn't. Stats, we'll continue to use Game Changer. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Your stats are recorded by someone every game. There are stats-based awards at the end of the week. So we go off those stats, obviously. There's a waiver in med form. When you sorry, someone was muted there. All right, when you get to the
Doug.
camp. Yes, who's that?
Can you hear me? This is Todd Pratt. Can you guys hear me?
Brad.
Thank you. All right. Okay, good. All right.
All right.
I'll
We'll get to you later, Pat. All right, so let me get back on track here. All right, so waiver and med form. So everybody has to sign a waiver and a med form. The med form gets handed to the training staff. That way they know if you have any medical elements that they need to keep an eye out for. You know, please be as honest as possible on those forms, because they really do look at them and they really come to me that first day if they are concerned about anybody that they want to keep an extra eye on. It's just a precaution, guys, but it's important to do that. I think last year, not at our camp, but at the Twins camp, someone did have a heart attack getting to second base. They just fell over. Luckily, the trainers were able to resuscitate him and keep him alive long enough for EMTs. So, you know, we're not as young as we used to be. So it's very important that they have that information so they know that they could take care of you if something, God forbid, were to happen. Trainers, like I said, they're some of the most, they'll be your best friends at camp. You know, with that said, I can't stress enough, and I've told all the rookies this already, but you need to start getting ready for this camp, and you needed to get started getting ready for it 6 months ago. And by getting ready, I mean sprinting, stretching, you know, I wouldn't even worry about throwing now. It's mainly getting your legs, because your legs are the first to go. Your hamstrings, your quads, your calves. Yeah, so but the training staff, they're amazing. It's all Met training staff from throughout the leagues. They come down and help us out. And then obviously the coaches, you met a few of them already, but I can't say enough about these guys. They do an amazing job. I bring back a lot of the same guys every year just because they're awesome, and you know, they keep making my job easier because they make you make sure you guys are having a good time. All right, so let's go over the schedule. Now, you guys already got this in the email. So for week 2, this is week 1 schedule, but week 2, don't worry, it's the same for you, just different dates, obviously. Now, obviously, you know, this goes without saying, anything and everything on here is subject to change given weather, unforeseen circumstances. If Billy Epler comes in and tells me that they need the field for XYZ, I can't say no, guys. So just keep that in mind. You know, things like that do happen, but we'll do our best to make sure, you know, we stick to the schedule as best we can. So on Sunday, the rival day, which is also now the draft day, I really need everybody there as soon as possible. I know a lot of you are flying in the morning. The bus will leave no later than 11:15 a.m. in the morning from the airport. So if you said you wanted to be on the bus, that is what time the bus leaves. So you need to be there or be square, or you're going to have to rent a car and drive yourself over there. If you have to do that, which hopefully you don't, if you did not plan on it, just do a day rental and then, you know, have the Enterprise pick the car up at the hotel or whatever. But you need to be at the complex, I would say, by noon. I opened it up a little bit early last year, which I'll probably do again this year around 11:30. But you'll want to check in with me at the hotel. I'll have all your paperwork. I will not be doing, you guys remember I do the gift box and stuff, just to keep things simple. not be doing that. I just want you to, everything, I'll sign the waivers and all that stuff will be with me at the hotel, but all your gifts and stuff like that will be at the, in your locker when you get there.
Doug,
Yes,
Doug,
yes.
this is Doug Flint. Could we make sure that when they come to the workouts that they have something with their name on it, please?
Yes. So everyone, one of the things you'll be getting is a t-shirt with your name and number on the back of it.
Thank you.
Do not wear your uniforms. We don't want anybody we don't have to worry about a huge laundry day. You're just going to be there briefly in the afternoon for the showcase, especially new guys. Veteran players, obviously you don't have to do that, especially if you come every year after year, but sometimes, a lot of these coaches, they may not remember you. Because there are a lot of you, and for the guys doing both weeks, there are a ton of you. So, it's always good to do it, but I understand if you don't. But the showcase will start around 1 p.m. So I think we started a little bit earlier last year, which was great. So it's best to be there by noon. With that said, we'll, sorry, hang on, just catching up here. Okay, yeah. So with that said, you guys will be finished. You can hang around in the clubhouse, get acquainted with everything, the trainer room, the clubhouse guys. They'll be able to, when you get there and you try your uniforms on, obviously make sure they fit. There won't be much I can do if they don't. That's why we ask for all those sizing, the size if you already knew it, or your height, weight, and all that to get the best, most accurate sizing. But sometimes things happen and the uniform may or may not fit you. Let me know, obviously, and I'll see what I can do. We have extra uniforms at the complex, blanks. So worst case scenario, if something doesn't fit, we could give you a temporary thing, or a temporary uniform, and then we'll figure out what to do about getting you a new one. And the hats as well. So a lot of people don't really know their hat size. So whatever you give me is what I'll have in your locker. But if it doesn't fit you, don't worry, don't fret. Just go to the clubhouse guys. They'll swap anything out. Same thing with t-shirts, shorts, or whatever else, things that aren't personalized. Those guys, the clubhouse guys, they take really good care of you guys. I mean, most of you already know that. Drew, Molly, and then like 7 other guys are his staff. They work long hours to make sure everything's clean and taken care of for you guys. So make sure you take care of them at the end of the week. The draft will happen that day as well. It says 3 to 5. It won't take that long, but you guys are not allowed to be in that. That happens behind closed doors with all myself and my staff and all the coaches. The teams will be announced at the dinner, which is a new location, which I'll go into later. That'll all be announced at the dinner. So, and I will not make the mistake of having the team. Well, I will, but I won't send you guys the link. So you guys can't see the teams ahead of time like you guys were sneaking around doing last year. So now that I know your antics, I will avoid that one. Keep it a little surprise. But anyways, we'll announce the teams. Dougie will go over the week. When we're there, we'll introduce all the coaches. We'll introduce the rookie players, and then we'll call it a night, and everybody go home and get a good night's sleep. On Monday, so Monday's the first full day. So like I said, with the new schedule, we're doing games 1 and 2, morning, afternoon. The schedule's been preset, so the teams will be already made up. The schedule's already made up for most of the week. That's why you'll see in the actual schedule in the media guide and whatnot, like PSL versus New York and all that. We'll change the names to whatever the coaches decide to name their teams, but everything's predetermined as far as like the schedule goes. And that also goes along with the fields too, which fields you're gonna be playing at. Monday, so we'll do the games, and then that afternoon is technically a free night, but what we always do is suggest that you guys go out to dinners with your teammates and your coaches. Everybody pretty much does it. It's a great night to get to know your teammates and your coaches. Everybody kind of gets together and just kind of goes out. Ed, our bus driver, if I get him this year, hopefully I do, He is an amazing guy and he'll take you guys wherever you need to go if you need rides, but most people have rental cars. So you guys can pile up in your cars and head out wherever you need to go. On Tuesday's photo day, which is like the last 3 years, it seems like it always gets screwed up because of rain or because of some kind of bad weather. But the idea behind it is to get that out of the way first thing in the morning. As you can see on the schedule, we kind of start the day a little bit earlier. We'll want to get individual team photos or individual photos with the coaches and team photos. So you'll see me running around yelling at you guys to hurry up that morning. So don't mind me. It's just got a strict schedule to stick to. But your all's cooperation that day is of the utmost importance. Then we every day the stretch is led by HSS, whoever their trainer that comes down or the physical therapist that comes down. As you all know, HSS is one of our sponsors for Fantasy Camp. So we ask that everybody attend that so we can make them happy. But it's also very good for you to stretch before these games because trust me, there's too many people who are getting injured because they don't feel like they need to stretch and stuff like that. So moving on. That evening, after the games are done, that evening we have the charity casino night. Now, here's the thing. We were going to do that at Barron Real Estate this year. We were not going to do it in the Big League Stadium or the Big League Clubhouse for various reasons. However, as all of you or most of you know, Barron is now not at that building and I had to find a new venue for our dinner. So I am in the middle of still trying to figure out where we're going to hold the casino night. I'm going to try to get it to keep it in the Big League Clubhouse, but there's certain situations that are not allowing me to do that. So I will keep you guys posted on that and I'll let you know. But the casino night, it's a fun night. I know not everybody gambles, which is fine. But there is a memorabilia raffle, some really good stuff. This year I got one for each week. Team signed helmets, which I guess now half the team is not even on the team anymore, but you know, it's got Scherzer, it's got Verlander, it's got all the big guys on them. So very nice helmets that are signed for the team, but I also have other stuff there as well. So even if you don't gamble, you come in, get your free play money, exchange it for raffle tickets, do your raffle, pick whatever you want. It's you literally, when you play, you know, you get your raffle tickets, you get your or you get your play money, you gamble, you win, you whatever, you lose it. But whatever you have left at the end of the night, whatever chips you have left, you exchange those for raffle tickets, you put your name on it, you put it in the bin of the item that you want. The one that always seems to be full is the discount for the following year camp. That's $1,500 off of camp. That one tends to go get pretty full. So there'll be a lot of good stuff for you guys to choose from. But I highly suggest you guys do it. It's all the money that we raise for that it goes to a good cause. So please make sure you attend that and we'll keep that going. Then on Wednesday, so some things I've tried differently in these mini camps. So as some of you may know, the mini camps I started last year with Syracuse, and then this year we did the new spring training or spring classic down here in St. Lucie. Both were very successful. The spring St. Lucie Spring Classic was an amazing time, but this also gives me chances to try different things without affecting the main camp. So one of the things I did at the Spring Classic this year was I adjusted the schedule to where, and it was mainly because of rain that we were expected to have. We did back-to-back games in the morning. We are going to do that this year for Wednesday. We're going to do games in the morning at 9 a.m. We'll start the game at 9 a.m. And then obviously everybody's got to be finished before we can flip it. But once everything gets flipped and everything's done, you guys are literally going to go from one game to the next. This will avoid tightness. This would avoid anybody getting too relaxed and then going back out getting hurt. It'll avoid you eating so much food during lunch and then you want to get sick out in the afternoon because that happens a lot too. So I know some of you may not like that idea, but trust me, give it a shot. It was really every single person that went to St. Lucie Spring Camp loved it. So it gives you a lot more time in the afternoon. So basically you have a free afternoon to hang out in the clubhouse, drink beer, whatever you want to do, you know, go out, hang out, We do have Kangaroo Court that night, so don't forget to do that. But that will be at the stadium this year. It will be in that conference room where we ate the food for the barbecue during the casino night. So we'll have stadium seating styled in there. We have an amazing sound system and speaker and video board and all that in there. We have the facility, a nice facility, might as well use it for that. So so Wednesday probably is the biggest difference, I would say, out of the schedule for this year. But we'll give it a try, see how it goes, and I expect some feedback from you guys, good or bad. You know, it doesn't hurt to try new things. Like I've always said, I always like trying new things, and if it doesn't work, you know, we just won't do it again. So moving on, Wednesday. So playoffs begin on Wednesday. Games, oops, sorry. Not bad. Thursday. We've already went through Wednesday. Thursday. All right. So finals. So the semifinals are on Wednesday. The finals are on Thursday. So we got the championship game. It'll be on the main field. You guys will be playing on the main field. Again, barring there's no issues or something. I get an email last minute, week before camp saying we can't use the field. Okay, guys. It's the main field. I have no control over it. So there's always something that could pop up if Billy Epler or the baseball department comes down here. They've completely redone this facility. They've added a whole new state-of-the-art multi-million-dollar pitching tunnel system where the Barrowis used to be. So they are expecting a lot more action down here in the off season. So I'm just giving you a heads up. I can't control Epler and Mr. Cohen. So and what they want. Championship games. The championship game will begin about an hour after the second set of games start. So obviously, guys, you know, the championship game happens. All the other games are meaningless. However, I know a lot of you are very conscious about the stats. So your stats do count in those games for the awards and stuff. So there are a lot of times people don't want to play, but just keeping in mind of all that and just the being fair with everybody, make sure you play those consolation games. And then that night, I know on the schedule it says 9 to 11 p.m. is the Tudor Fresco. So every year HSS is very nice, very kind enough to sponsor this little event and have like an open bar. And it says appetizers, but it's like full on legit food that they do every year. Please make sure you go to that. You know, it's I think the free drinks, I think it's free beer, and then you have to pay for shots and stuff like that. But it really is a good night. And Tudor Fresco's right across the street from the hotel. So it's walking, you just walk across. But that has actually been moved up. I don't know the time off the top of my head. I will let you guys know, but it is not 9 to 11. I think it's more like 6 to 8 or something like that. So obviously after the championship game's over and stuff like that, and we crown our champions for the week, you guys can kind of head over and celebrate and enjoy the rest of the night over there. And then Friday, the last day, which is the saddest day, I guess, or you could call Saturday morning the saddest day. We don't do a pro game anymore. We haven't done that in a few years. What we do is the campers versus pro pitching. So if you want to face off against Heath Bell or Nelson Figueroa or many of the other pitchers I have, because it seems like most of the coaches I bring are pitchers, they love to throw still. And they may not be able to throw like they used to, but they could still fling the ball. So good luck. I wish you good luck in trying to hit the ball. But those guys will be more than happy to pitch to you, and some of them let you catch too. So if you don't want to hit, but you want to catch a big league fastball, that is also an opportunity for you that morning. So we'll do that first thing in the morning. You know, breakfast and lunch is also served that day. So, you know, obviously you're not gonna be rushing in super early in the morning like everybody else does throughout the week at 6 a.m. But, you know, there will be breakfast served. We also started last year Home Run Derby. It was really fun for week 2. Unfortunately, week 1 did not get to experience that because of the hurricane. But I could tell you the guys that did it in week 2, they really had a good time. What we did is we set up in the idea would be to do this in the main field. So if not, we'll do it at the City Field replica. But we'll bring in the fence, quote unquote, bring in the fence. We'll have campers about 200 feet out or 250 feet out. We'll measure it, and that'll be the fence. And then we record the home runs that way. And then whoever wins that gets a nice little trophy. And then after that, we'll have the dinner that night, the awards dinner to officially end the camp. Dougie will go through all the awards. We'll announce who wins. We'll do a toast for the championship team, and then we'll bid adieu and give everyone our last goodbyes, and then we'll head back, and then you guys can do whatever you want that night, and then we'll get ready to head off in the morning. Now on Saturday, the bus will leave around 8:39. I haven't got the final time yet, so or I'm sorry, 8 to 8:30. Obviously, we try to accommodate as many people as we can for that bus. So you'll basically just get up in the morning and head out. I'll be there to answer any questions or to handle anything before you guys leave. But that's the saddest day of the week is when everybody leaves. So hopefully, again, just to recap on some things, stay healthy, guys, between now and then. I hate last minute cancellations because it screws things up, but I understand if you get hurt or sick or whatnot. But please, please, please take care of yourself before and when you're there. And also don't push yourself. You know your body's limits. And just have a good time. Because if you go there not looking to have a good time, you're not going to have a good time. But if you go there with an open mind and ready to meet new people and play some baseball, you're going to have a blast. Moving on. So what's new? Again, I went over the schedule. You saw the new stuff. Wednesday's the big day. That's different. We're doing 12 teams again this year, not 10, with the game added. I kind of went crazy on the stuff I'm giving you guys this year. So I'm sure my accounting team, the accounting team will hate me, but it'll be worth it. I got some new gifts for you guys. I think you guys will enjoy. Looking forward to seeing your all's faces on some of them. So enjoy that. I'm not going to tell you what it is, of course. You have to wait till you get there. We do have a new venue and catering. So like I said, with Barron not being in that building across the street, I know it was great. We could just walk over for the dinners. It was perfect. But they don't have that building anymore, and I can't get it. So I tried the Island Club. They didn't want us there either. So I had to go to Tradition Town Hall, which is literally the only other building in the area that's big enough to hold 250 people. It is being remodeled right now. It'll be done before camp. But I had to use their catering company that was part of the contract. So Bonner Mobile Bar, who did our bar last year, they're actually the ones that cater at that venue. They do weddings and everything. So they will be our bar and catering team this year. Home Run Derby, like I mentioned. The award most hits, I got rid of it last year. It worked out pretty well. Unfortunately, the most hits, which I think was the Ed Krampel Award, and the batting average award, Cleon Jones, it was always the same person winning it, so it wasn't really ideal. So I changed that last year. It worked out beautifully to the Dave Wright Comeback Player of the Year award. We'll continue doing that. And then obviously the golf package. I sent everyone that email out. I probably have about 20 people signed up right now. Still need more. So if you are interested in the golf package, please, please, please sign up for that. I want to make it full that way, it's a nice event instead of just a few of you. But the coaches, I already let them know, whoever wants to golf with you guys, they've let me know that they'll do that. So please do that sooner rather than later, so I can go ahead and get all that built out, especially for the shirts. If you do the golf package, you will be getting like a golf polo like I used to do a few years ago for everybody. You'll be getting a special golf polo with that. That link, you should have that link to register for that. If you don't have it, which I mean you should, but if you can't find it, let me know. I'll resend that link to you. What to bring. So I know a couple people asked about this, but I'll send you this list and a more detailed list later on. But for you guys, for the rookies, obviously you want to bring your mitts, rubber and plastic cleats, no spikes, like I said, jock supporter. You're a player at your own risk if you're not bringing that. Batting gloves, helmets, and bats. We supply, well, we don't supply batting gloves, so bring yours if you want to bring yours. But helmets and bats, we do supply. You can bring your own. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be aware that if anything breaks, it's on you or whoever used it. It's not Met's responsibility if your stuff breaks. Swimming trunks for the hot tub and cold tub. Shower shoes is an important thing to bring. Personal hygiene products. Now we'll have toothbrush, we'll have deodorant, shampoo, soap. We'll have all that there for you. We spoil the heck out of you guys. So, but if you have a specific type of product you want to use, bring it, and that way you have it. This says blue uniform top. My bad. I did not change that. Gray uniform. So if you're bringing, for veterans, if you're bringing your uniforms from last year, whites and grays, okay? Cash for tips to the coaching staff and the clubhouse guys and the trainers. And then for the Kangaroo Court and Casino Night, be sure to bring cash for that stuff. Again, we're going to continue giving to Hope for the Warriors. It's an amazing foundation that takes care of our veterans. They do amazing work, and Doug has been working with them for a very long time. Doug, I don't know if you want to say anything about Hope, but you know, we've been doing a lot of work with them for the last couple of years, and they're really, really good.
Hey, to the credit of you guys, we're gonna play one. Well, I don't play against the other, but between the two fantasy camps we do, they raise over $100,000 alone in a year for these men and women. And when you give money, you can write a check if you want. If you want to give more, 91 cents on the dollar goes right to the families, these military people. I'll be doing 4 events for them this year. But I'm so proud of what you guys do to give back, as are all the folks from Hope for the Warriors. So thank you so much. If you have any questions at all about it, just let me know.
Yep, Doug's a good ambassador for it. So if you guys ever have anything, any questions about it, you know, he'll be more than happy to answer that. And I will continue working with him until the Mets tell me I can't. So workout clothing, that's something people tend to forget to bring. You will be getting a lot of stuff, but it's always good to bring your own shorts and shirts and stuff like that just to have, just in case, and obviously casual wear. The dinners, it's kind of business casual attire. Not everybody follows that, which is fine. You know, Howard with his Hawaiian button-down shirt every year, or you know, Rod Collins with his Mets suit. I love that thing. But you know, Sharpies, pens, very important for autographs and stuff like that, that we don't keep stealing mine because I have a limited supply. Items to get autographs. So in a second, I'm going to announce who's coming to each week. A lot of guys like to go on eBay and buy baseball cards, or, you know, 8x10 photos, or, you know, stuff of the pros that are coming to get signed, which is perfectly fine. And, you know, highly suggested. Battery phone pack. I mean, this has been on the list for a while. I don't even know if people even have those anymore, but that's also something you could bring. So, you know, when you have your locker, guys, you are able, or you're allowed to leave whatever you want in there overnight. No one's going to touch your stuff. With that said, obviously wallets and stuff like that, bring with you. Anything of value, bring with you wherever you go. But just know that we're not liable for whatever you leave in there. But we never had any issues in the past. But you know, that's your locker space. So you can leave in there whatever you want. You don't have to keep bringing all your uniforms and your clothes back and forth. So that's your little domicile. That's your area. Your name's on it. Your jerseys are in there. So, which is also a very good rookie moment when you first walk into the clubhouse and you find your locker, and your jaw will drop to the floor when you see everything in there. Trust me. Alumni. So Doug and I looking good there on the bench in the background. I already went over Doug being our commish. Any rules or issues during games needs to be brought up to him. He'll be on sites at all the fields for the most part, running around. I will be alongside him or running around myself, or I'll be in the office. So if anything comes up, it goes to Doug first and then me. If you can't find Doug, then reach and then call my cell, which everybody will have my cell before camp. Rookie coaches. This year we have Rajay Davis doing both weeks. Rajay played for us recently for 1 year. He now works for MLB. He's an amazing guy, very funny, very nice guy. looking forward to doing a camp with him. Some past coaches that haven't been to camp in a while. We got John Debus, Wally Backman, and Turk Wendell. Guys, Turk is back. Luckily for us, Turk, his hunting buddies none of them got tags, so no one could hunt on his property this year. So Turk will be back with us this year for both weeks. Wally and John will be doing both weeks with us. Doc and Bobby Wine will be roving. Gotta have our Bobby, gotta have our Wino. Camp wouldn't be the same without him, so I'm bringing Wino here with us this year, and he's gonna be roving around and chatting it up with everybody at each field. Again, 2 coaches per team, nothing changed there. Autographs and availability. All right, so one common thing, especially for rookies, a lot of rookies tend to think that they're only limited to hanging out with their coaches, their 2 coaches. That is not true at all. Don't be afraid to approach other coaches. Every single one of these alumni are approachable, and every single one of them know why they're there. They're there to mingle with you guys. They're there to hang out with you guys. They're there to chat with you guys, and they're there to sign autographs. Now, that doesn't mean take a dozen balls and go to Doc and say, hey, Doc, here, sign all these right now. Don't do that. But every single one of them are more than happy to sign stuff for you. So as long as you do it in a respectful manner, you won't have any problems. And their availability is the whole week. So again, don't feel like you're stuck with just your 2 coaches. I've had people come in the past saying, oh, well, I felt like I couldn't go to them. I wish I did. It's like, well, that's not anybody's fault but yourselves. You need to be approachable to them. So, and like I said, they'll take care of you. So, all right, now for week 1, our coaches are Doc, Flynn, and Wino, roving and commissioner. Lenny Harris, KB, Kevin Baez, Rodney McCray, Ron Sabota, Eric Hillman, Todd Pratt, Barry Lyons, Buzz Capra, Duffy Dyer, Mackie Sasser, Pete Shurik, Mookie Wilson, Nelson Figueroa, Heath Bell, Howard Johnson, Ed Lynch, Dylan G, Randy Neiman, Rajay Davis, John Debus, Turk Wendell, Felix Mian, Wally Backman, and Rafael Santana. Now for week 2, it's a little different. I think each week has 3 different people. So the same for Doc, Flynn, and Wine. Lenny Harris, KB, McCray, Sobota, Hillman, Pratt, Lyons, Capra, Dyer, Steve Traxel, Mackie Sasser, Mookie Wilson, Figueroa, Bell, Hojo, Lynch, Glendon Rush, and Bill Pulsiver, Wally Backman, John Debus, Turk Wendell, Mian, Davis, and Rafi. So there's your coach list for each week. Again, 24 coaches, 2 per team for 12 teams. And then we basically we added one more coach for by having Bobby Wine being a rover. Okay, so the fields. All right, don't hate me, but this map is a little outdated just because we changed some things up, as some of you saw during spring training, which doesn't really apply to you guys. So this, if you could see my mouse, this area over here where the bunting and the quarter field are, the bunting field doesn't exist anymore, and there's another half field there. Because apparently bunting is not a real baseball thing anymore. Anyways, which is weird. All right, so you guys will be over here in the minor league complex. So when you're driving down Peacock, if you're renting cars, you'll be driving down Peacock and entering in the minor league complex. There is no specific address for this, guys. The address for the stadium is 31 Piazza Drive. So if you plug that in, it's going to take you to the stadium. You want to pass the stadium and you want to drive down until you see the minor league rehabilitation complex. That's where you're going. You'll see a bunch of cars there. This is not there, so ignore that. This is a mock-up of the minor league complex that they were going to do, but they didn't. But as you can see, the 4 fields, the quad are right here. The newly renamed numbers. So this is field 1 is the Citi Field replica, and then field 2, 3, and 4 are just regular fields. Then you have the turf field, and then the stadium. Now, when, like I said, when you get there, everything will be in the clubhouse, and then there's batting cages here to the side, and then there's like a little cafeteria area there. There will be a tent behind the complex. It's a very large tent. That's where we do our meetings, our morning meetings. Don't be late to those. you guys will be able to eat out there too when you do the lunches and stuff. All right. And then if you come to St. Lucie Spring Classic, you get to park here where the players park, and you get to go into the player entrance, and you get to go in the big league clubhouse. So just for next year, if you want to join, let me know. All right. Before I open it up to everybody, I do have questions that you guys submitted, so I'll go over them real quick. So I will stop sharing. You can see my pretty face again. All right, so I'll go through these real quick. Maybe where are they at? There we go. All right, so a couple of the questions I had. I am coming early. Will I be able to stay in the same room and not have to switch? Okay, so with the camp being expanded and being a lot more people, there were some people that had to switch rooms. Even though obviously you were there early. I mean, guys, I can't control that. You're talking about 140 people. It's a lot of moving around. You just have to bear with the hotel. They're going to do their absolute best to make sure that doesn't happen. So just please understand that. I think only like 2 or 3 people had to do it last year. But they'll let you know ahead of time if that is the case. But just know that, you know, they will do their best to make sure you don't have to move. You know, obviously, if you're getting a private room and then you're sharing a room with somebody, you're going to end up moving. So just keep that in mind. Next question for newbies: what items should I bring to camp that aren't immediately obvious? Glove, bat, etc. I think I kind of went over that already. Yeah, I definitely did. You know, if there's any questions or if you guys want to ask me, you know, send me an email like, hey, should I bring this? That's fine. I will send out an item list to bring again, so you guys will have that as we get closer. Because I am doing this Zoom meeting about 2 months earlier than I did last year. Next question: what do we wear under the uniform? So you, like I said, you'll be getting that shirt with your name on it. It's an undershirt, like a dry fit type shirt. That is a good thing to wear. That also goes to what I was saying earlier about bringing extra athletic wear. So if there's some shirts you want to bring, you can wear anything you want underneath or nothing at all. It's up to you. What clothing do we need to bring for playing games? How many sets? Same kind of question. You know, I would say bring a couple spare shirts and a couple spare shorts. How do people generally pack travel with bats? To my knowledge, you have obviously you have to check the bag. A lot of guys bring and feel free to put it in the chat, guys, if I know a lot of you've done this. But to my knowledge, you check your baseball bag that has bats in it.
Nothing's. I was exercising for an hour every day. It was really. The goal was so easy. The
Who's
week
talking?
is
Joe. Mute. Sorry, Joe. Right. Back to what I was doing. Okay. Next question. How many players per team? So figure 130, 140 people, 12 teams. You know, you're going to look at 12 guys to a team roughly. Those numbers will fluctuate as we get closer. Some people cancel. Obviously I can't add new people because I can't get jerseys, but there are some veteran campers who reached out and want to come to camp, but can't because it's full. But I can fill them in with anybody that drops out. So hopefully no one drops out. So please don't. Can family come watch the games? Of course, absolutely. I highly suggest they come and watch. It is free. The complex is open to everybody to come watch the games. No one has to pay to get in. The only time money's involved and what you have to pay for is if they eat the lunches and dinners. Oh, that's another thing. Sorry, I completely forgot. Given the new venue and the new caterer, we are doing tickets this year, guys. You will be getting dinner tickets, actual physical dinner tickets. If you do not bring your ticket to dinner, you are not going in. I'm sorry. There's no more last minute. Oh, my brother, sister, can he come? No more of that. We've had too many problems in the past with it. I did dinner tickets years and years ago and it worked. I don't know why I really stopped it, to be honest with you. So before, and I'll send another email out confirming guest and all that. But guys, you will have to pay ahead of time and you will have to have your numbers accurate. Same thing goes for coaches who bring family. Because I don't want any issues with not having too many people at the venue and they're not prepared for that. Okay. So you will be getting dinner tickets for your for the welcome and the awards banquets, and you will need to bring them with you. So please don't forget those. Next, going back to the family. So yeah, anybody can come and watch. The stadium is open to the public. All the backfields are. They'll just come in and park where you guys park, and then they can go out and watch. We'll have some security guards roaming around, but absolutely no family on the fields and no family in the dugouts. Please, guys, keep your kids out of the dugouts. There are no bat boys. There are no bat girls. There's no ball boys, no ball girls. It's a liability. It's not good, and obviously out of nobody and other than yourselves in the clubhouse. No sons in the clubhouse, no wives in the clubhouse, nothing. If I see them, I'll kick them out. And I don't want to do that because you guys know that I'm not a mean guy, but I will kick them out and they will not be welcome back in. I've been yelled at before. I don't want to get yelled at again. So I'm just going to nip it in the butt right now. It's not a place for guests to be in. It's exclusive to you guys, and that goes for any former campers as well, guys. If a camper from a few years ago is coming to visit, I don't want them in the locker room. They didn't pay like you guys did to be in there. They don't belong in there. Moving on. Common injuries. That's a great question. Hamstrings, calves, and I wish I had some trainers on here. I mean, they've seen all kinds of things. I've seen some crazy injuries too, but I would say the hamstrings, yeah, the arms, elbows, yeah.
Hey, hey, Doug, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Ed Lynch. Yeah. As I said, I've done 23 of these camps, and Doug, you hit it on the head. 90% of the injury that's going to keep you from playing is leg injury. So I've never seen anybody not be able to take the field because their arm was sore, but it's all about the legs. So that's really the thing to concentrate on, especially hamstrings. So
yeah,
that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Ed. I mean, hamstrings and quads and calf muscles. I've seen guys pop both because they busted out of the batter's box. That's the part of the stretching, and then, like I said, sprinting. Yeah, running is great. Don't get me wrong. But the motion of you hitting a ball and then busting out of the box, your legs aren't used to that. So if you start stretching your hamstrings and all that right now, trust me, I'm not guaranteeing that you won't get hurt, but trust me, your legs will be a lot better off if you start doing that right now, working on those legs. Because nothing's worse than having two blown hammies walking around and not running and not really playing because you can't move. I mean, the trainers, they'll do their best. I've seen them do amazing work and get guys back on the field after some crazy injuries. And I mean crazy injury, broken ribs, broken bones. I've seen guys have their eyes all gouged out and stuff. I mean, it's pretty crazy that they can stitch you back up and get you back out on the field. So, but the most common injury is definitely legs. And there's preventative things you can do to prevent that. So I highly suggest you start working on your legs and stretching. Stretch. That's the best thing you can do for your body, getting ready for the camp. Top 3 biggest mistakes made by rookies. Ooh. It's a good question. I don't know.
Doug, be careful. Be careful.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Doug, would you like to answer that question? Because I really,
I don't think a rookie can make a mistake the first year. Do you, Eddie?
that's a
I
good
think
point.
once they're there, yeah, they can't make a mistake the first year. And if they do, we'll remind them on
Yep.
Wednesday night.
Yes, we will.
Well, if they bounce their check, that's a major first mistake.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, I mean, like Doug said, there's really nothing. I mean, I've seen guys wear equipment wrong and stuff like that, but that's just part of it. I mean, I know a lot of you guys haven't played baseball, organized baseball before, or haven't played since you're in high school or college or whatever. So there's a lot of silly mistakes that happen, and we'll just make fun of you for it. And that
All
goes
right,
and going off that, nothing,
here's-
and Doug will say this too, nothing should be taken seriously.
Now,
You know,
here's the biggest mistake a rookie can make is to think he's going to make the 40-man roster after his 1 week at fantasy camp.
yes, that's definitely, and taking things too seriously. Like we're
Or
all there to
wanting-
have, we're all there
wearing
to
a-
have fun.
Wearing a Yankee hat into the clubhouse.
Eddie, shh, that's perfectly okay.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Okay.
Alrighty. What time does the bus leave on Sunday from the airport? I mentioned that at 11:15. Don't be late. If you're late, you're gonna have to find another way to get there, to the complex or to the hotel first. One of my questions is there equipment available to purchase once the camp starts in case I break all my bats? No. But you're welcome to use the equipment that's there. That's ours, the Mets. And if you break the Mets bats, don't worry about it. We got plenty, and we're not going to hold you to it. Breaking bats is part of it. Yeah, we don't. I mean, the only thing you could purchase is the rolling stuff, and I've already sent all that out to you guys and everybody. You know, there wasn't too many orders this year because I know a lot of guys have ordered the last couple of years, but you know, you could still order stuff from them if you want. If you have any questions regarding that, let me know. We did have a lot of guys purchase new gloves and stuff like that. I have gotten most of them already. So if you ordered a mitt and you want me to send it to you, let me know. Mitts do take a long time to break in, just so you know. So if you think you're going to use your mitt when you first get there, you might not. So be prepared for that. But that was the last of those questions. Let me look at the chat real quick. Okay, so Marchon had the question of, is each coach going to draft his own team? Now, from what I viewed, and coaches, feel free to chime in on how we did the draft last year. Some people got confused. The coaches still drafted every single team. I don't know why people thought they were predetermined. I never said that. I don't know why that rumor came out. They were still drafted by the coaches. Now, the coaches worked together to put each team together that made it as even as possible. So we didn't have a team that was 0-7 at the end of the week. But guys, feel free to chime in on what your thoughts of the draft. But the plan is to still do what we did last year. The coaches working together and drafted the teams. Doug, you want to say anything? Ed, you want to say anything on that? Mookie? Thumbs up from Dougie.
I think the draft, the way it runs is great. You know, the former fantasy camps I've been to, there was no draft. So you had 10 guys that play together all the time that want to play together, and you have teams like 0-10 and 10-0. So we don't want that. But I thought the way it's worked the last 2 years was very, very good.
All righty. So yeah, so we'll continue to do that until it fails miserably, which it definitely did not last year. Both weeks, week 2 is even better, but both weeks the teams were really even. You know, and like I said, the coaches did draft the teams. It's not like we just sat there and, you know, didn't or predetermined like, oh, this is the one team, 2 team. No, we didn't do it that way. We still did the draft. Let's see here. What is it? Okay, I think that's it. Any other questions, guys? Feel free to unmute yourself to ask a question if you'd like. There's a lot in the chat. I'm not going to read through everything. So if you asked a question in the chat and I didn't see it, go ahead and feel free to ask me.
Doug, where's Tradition Town Hall, I think you said?
Yeah, so good. Thanks, Joe. So Tradition Down Hall, our new venue for the dinners. It is in Tradition, which is down I-95. So it's about a 10-minute drive down. I know a lot of you know where Meeting Street is. It's right next to Meeting Street. It's that church looking like building right there in Tradition. Now with that said, given the amount of alcohol and everything given that night, I highly, highly suggest you all take the bus. Do not drive, guys, if you plan on drinking, please. I had a scare one years ago when Eric Hillman was in a SUV full of campers. Luckily they weren't drinking, but they were hit by a girl doing, you know, on her phone and T-boned them, and they flipped their SUV right in front of Duffy's. So I don't want any of that. So please, please, please make sure you take the bus if you plan on drinking. With that said, give it extra time because it is a little bit longer distance drive. You know, I imagine Ed is going to be doing earlier runs. I mean, it's not far, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's not way. If you guys remember when you're driving down I-95, you see that little lighthouse tower thing as you're driving to the stadium to your left. It's right there. It's back in there. And like I said, Meeting Street, it's right next to Meeting Street and then some of the restaurants over there. I haven't been over there because they're remodeling it, but from the pictures and stuff, it looks amazing. It looks really nice. And it's going to be even better when they finish it. So the dinners will be there. Remember, we used to do the Kangaroo Court in the same spot. We're not doing the Kangaroo Court there. We'll be doing the Kangaroo Court at the stadium. Thanks, Joe. That was a good question. Anybody else? Questions? Anybody? Come on.
Hey,
son, we gotta
Doug,
have-
question.
Yes.
When you say white jerseys, pinstripe white is what you mean, right?
Yes,
No.
pinstripe white. Sorry. Yes, pinstripes,
Okay.
not the snow whites. We haven't used those in a long time, but yes, the pinstripes.
Is the I-95 overpass finished?
It is not finished.
And it won't be. You know if they can be done?
I don't know when the traffic is a lot nicer. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot more fluid now, but it is not done yet. I actually haven't driven over in a while, but I drive underneath it and they haven't opened that other side yet. So the last I heard it was fall. So right around the time when we are going to be doing the camp. But yeah, that was a headache during the spring classic for sure. But yeah, if some of you don't know, they're building a whole new overpass and the traffic was absolutely ridiculous getting through St. Lucie West, and good luck trying to get anywhere on time because it was like New York City's type traffic, if not worse. Anybody else? Come on, rookies. Come on. There's gotta be, I know there's a lot of rookies here. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, Doug, you said
Uh-huh.
on Sunday for the workout at 1 o'clock, you want to stay up by 12?
Yes, if you guys can get there at 12 and just, do your usual stuff before you have to get out there. The showcase will start around 1. So, I figured an hour is enough time for you guys to, try your stuff on, mingle, do what you usually do when you first get there.
Mark, are you comfortable?
Sir. How about
Hey,
you,
Doug?
Doug?
Yeah,
Hey, Doug.
all right.
Yes.
Doug, why don't you talk to the rookies about if they want to pitch, to either Doug, what they go through it's a different, they're going to go down the mound and throw a little bit. I don't know if they're aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, pitching, that's one of I know there's a lot of camps that don't let campers pitch. We are one of the ones that does. There are inning limits for the day, and there's an age limit. All the rookies should know this, but age 35 and over are allowed to pitch. If you're younger than 35, so 30 to 34, you're not allowed to pitch. You can only play in the field. So we implemented those rules a while ago just because, guys we had what's that? I forget his name. He was on Sabota's team the year they won. Anyways, we called it that rule because
Pizarrana rule.
Yeah, the
Pizarrana.
Pizarrana. Thank you, Pat. Because he was a former Rice University pitcher, and he was, he was older, bit chubbier, but he could still throw the ball really good. And he had a terrible first game, and then after he settled down, he mowed everybody down the next 6 games. Complete games, every single one, probably threw a perfect game, who knows. And then it was very depressing for everybody else. So I started doing some rules after that just to kind of make it more fair. We do have a couple workhorses campers that come every year that pitch a lot. And they told me they enjoy the rule, so they aren't dependent on so much too. So, but yeah, rookies, I mean, pitching, you're going to be pitching from the mound, the standard 60 feet, 6 inches. If it's pitching is something you don't know if you want to do on that showcase, one of the stations is the 10-pack. Definitely try it out. See if you're comfortable doing it. Again, don't get yourself hurt, just trying to hurl the ball on the mound. But you will have an opportunity to test it out before you commit. And then guys who don't want to pitch, I've seen a lot of the times where guys don't want to pitch and they end up pitching and they end up winning the game for the team. So don't be afraid or intimidated by being asked to go pitch. Pitching and catching are definitely two things that are needed at camp, for sure. Because by midweek, arms are starting to get tired and whatnot. So, if it's pitching is something you want to do, obviously you guys gave me the positions you want to play. You're not stuck to those, especially if your coach feels like you need to be somewhere else. Again, guys, don't get mad at your coaches if they put you somewhere where you don't really want to be. They're trying to win the game for you guys. So, put your big boy pants on and just suck it up and go out there and win the game. Because at the end of the day, you guys are just there to have fun and win some baseball games. So, and don't forget the rings. You get a nice ring at the championship game. So if you win, there's no prizes for second place.
Doug, does the golf have rental clubs, or it has to be bring your own?
So I said to bring your own, just because you guys are going to be playing at the PGA Center. So you're going to be playing on a PGA course. They have rental clubs, but he said they don't have very many at all. And he can't guarantee there'll be any that day available. So
Okay.
I highly suggest you guys bring your own if you're going to do the golf. And again, this is a new thing, guys. So definitely look into doing it if you like golf. I'm going to do my best to make sure we have enough coaches to pair up with every group. I forget the numbers off the top of my head. I think it's 40 or
45.
45. Yeah. So that means we have 60 spots available, including the coaches. So, and I think there's like 20 signed up. So if it's something you want to do, definitely get in on that. We'll try it out for the first year and hopefully it goes well and we continue to do it. You guys know,
Hey,
how I like to
Doug,
add things. Yeah.
If nobody's ever, or if someone's gonna play golf and hasn't traveled, try Ship Sticks. You can send your clubs straight to the hotel. Don't have to get them on airplane. Leave the box there. You put them right back in and ship them straight back to your house. It's super easy.
That's awesome. Thanks, Kenny. I did not know about that. Yeah. If Kenny, if you don't mind, email me with that information.
Yeah.
If you could do that, and then I'll pass it along to everybody. That way they have it.
Yeah, you can actually mail them to the club or to the golf course itself. So I'll send it over to you.
All right, appreciate it. And then also, guys, with the whole shipping thing, because I know a lot of people like to ship stuff down ahead of time. That's fine, but let me know first if you do that for the hotel, so I can let the hotel know. Again, like I said, Francesca's not there no more. It was like clockwork with her. She knew stuff was going to happen and stuff like that. Since she's not there no more, please, please, please let me know if you're going to ship stuff ahead of time, so I can warn them at least. Because I know there's quite a few of you that would do that, and obviously they only have so much room too. So if they got everybody shipping stuff down to them, I definitely want them to be prepared for that. Don't ship it to me, please. I got enough stuff. You should see the storage room. It's ridiculously full right now. Between Syracuse, St. Lucie, and main camp, I've got stuff everywhere. Anything else I haven't covered? The trophies, the awards, Doug will mention it in the thing, but they're pretty impressive. They're very nice. They get shipped to you if you do win an award. I just have samples here because they're big and I don't want to pack them up and ship them because they'll break most likely. So there's that. Anybody else? Any other questions? Rookies? Anybody has a question? Come on. There's got to be a rookie out there with a question. Don't be
Hi,
bashful.
everybody. I'm not a rookie anymore.
Glendon. How we doing, Rush?
I'm good. Just wanted to say hi to everybody.
Everybody, Glendon's on the Glendon's here. Who else joined? Didn't someone else join?
Hey,
Pratt,
Doug.
Pratt, you still here? Yes, Frank.
Hey, I was a rookie last year. One thing that the mistake I made was overreacted to that fantasy camp strike zone. The rookies need to be mindful of that. I mean, that pitch was in the other batter's box and the umpire called it a strike and I lost my cool. I'm sure you heard about that.
Yes, that happens a lot. So the umpires are instructed to, keep it as we got to keep the games moving, obviously, because fantasy camp games can last a very long time. So they are pretty liberal at the strike zone. So when you go up there, be ready to swing the bat, guys.
Let's just make it a point, Doug, and we do this anyway, but let's emphasize to the umpires, you know, first 2 strikes, a little more liberal, but bear down on the third one. So
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, we
Good
say
point.
it every year, but we'll say it again.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about 24 umpires at one given time. So and a lot of them been doing it for a long time, and a lot of them are really good friends of ours. So, you know, I've had relationships develop over the years. So, and those guys are really good. And then there'll be a new guy every now and then that'll join the umpiring team that has never done fantasy camp before, because we're not the only camp that's going on around the same time. Vero Beach, the Dodgers, they have what's the third party camp? The Dodgers have 2 camps. It's weird, but one's run by the Dodgers, one's not, and their umpires are the same as ours. So, anything else? Rookies, come on. I know there's a few rookies on here. You got any questions? Nothing. Everybody good?
Hey, Doug, what
Oh,
happens
God.
if
What, Pat?
why are you saying, oh God? What if like if I'm going for a foul ball as a catcher and I accidentally run into the sign behind home plate? Do I have to pay for that?
I will be sending you a bill for that. Yes.
First of all, he is not going to get up and go for any foul ball. Period.
Ed, I mean, Dougie, I did go for one. I
Yeah,
broke the sign the other day.
He broke my behind home plate sign.
Yeah. Doug, Housewives in New Jersey coming here pretty soon. So how long are you gonna be on here?
I'm good if everybody else is good. I could stay on for a little bit if anybody else has any questions. I've went over everything. If you guys have any questions you don't want to bring up in front of anybody, just email me. I'll also post this video on YouTube/Facebook when it's done uploading and whatnot too. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'll hang around for a little bit longer if anybody wants to hang out and chat. But other than that, I'm done. I know there's more things to go over later on. You guys will get more emails throughout the rest of the year leading up to camp. I got Syracuse camp coming up. For those attending that, looking forward to seeing you at the end of the month. Yeah, guys, I'm good if you all are good. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. It was a great chat. I'm glad. Thank you for everybody that attended, and I look forward to another great year.
Thanks, Dougie.
Thanks, Dougie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.